Okay, so I got a surprise for you. I found some things out with the Canon R8, and I wanted to share it with you. Something that I learned, and then I'll show you some of the pictures of what I've learned. So if I go to the camera, it's on, but I'm going to press menu, and it's in movie mode. Okay. What I want to show you is the setting on number 8 when it's in movie mode. Uh, you can record internally if it's on here. But then the card recording is not supported if you put it through HDMI, and it's used instead of the camera for the menu display or image playback. All right. I wanted to show you that. The other thing is lens correction is on, focus breathing on and stuff. It's very important. If you have it in this lens, um, and any lens, in fact. But on video mode, you don't want any focus correction. Canon will help you out with that, okay? This is the 24mm macro, and I thought it was an RFS lens, and I found the solution to it of why I was getting a little vignetting. And you're gonna laugh when I found out how this happened. So anyway, menu. If I go there, automatic white balance. Clarity, I usually have it on the plus, okay? But I'm gonna leave the video part off. And 4K 30, I usually like. You got the auto lighting optimizer, highlight tone. I'll talk a little bit about that. But now I'm gonna put it in camera mode. And now I'm at 10, okay? So when you put it in camera mode, it goes from 1 through 9 and then 10, okay? A little bit on the video functions. But when you put it in camera mode, when in movie mode, you don't see 1 through 9. You only see it through the video part, okay? So this is what I learned. I showed you about the cropping. This is cropping, 24 megapixel to like a 10, 8. You don't want to do that, but still you can do it, okay? You get your 16 by 9, 4 by 3, 1 by 1. Digital converter, I want to show you 2x, 4x. Now you're going to remember all this, right? So HDR mode, HDR PQ is off. But if I want to turn it on, you have to go to tab number 4, page number 4, and you bring it back down to 0. Now I can go back and do my HDR PQ, turn that on, and then you can turn on the HDR mode. But I'm going to turn off the menu. So see, it's a little bit different. And now I'm going to turn on the HDR mode. You hit the OK, and then you go to dynamic range or moving subject. All right. Hit the menu, get out, and you only get one shot. All right. You can put it on the 3 shots with the plus and minus. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to make it fast for you guys. Okay. So, long story short, now you know the scene. Now I'm going to go to share. And right here, you see my first picture. Okay. Now I'm also going to do a Command I to see if this helps me. Because what I'm looking at, so it thinks it's the Sigma lens, 24mm. It's actually the Canon Sigma 24mm f1.8. I thought I'd show that to you because it's hilarious. Okay, I'm going to put it like right up here. All right. So you see, it thinks it's a Sigma. And I'll leave it like this so you can see what I'm seeing. So it's 24 millimeter, no flash, auto exposure, all at f1.8. Okay. I didn't put it at f8 or whatever. And then when I start, it's kind of like 6K resolution, downsampled to 4K. All right. When you start seeing me going from 24 to 48 and 96, you'll see it also. So click on here. Let's go to the next picture. This is with the dynamic range. Now you notice that there's a crop to it. So it only took one shot, and then it's just a regular HDR PQ. Okay. Warmer tone, cropped, cooler tone, not cropped. All right. And you can tell by the focal length it's 24 millimeters. Same thing here. Only difference is I started with the cooler and then I went to the dynamic range. So it's brighter and warmer. Now, I think, yeah, there's a bird right here. You won't see it, but see? And I'm not going to show it to you. But cropped, not cropped, warmer, colder. So you get the picture, right? Okay. So the colors are a little bit bigger. It's cropped and it's brighter. So I'm wondering if I just take a step closer, would I get the same picture? I wonder if Canon's doing its little magic. Okay. Light bulb. And then see, crop, not cropped. Same thing with the rock, the lock. Now, this is at 24. So it's the same thing. But I think I had the digital teleconverter on because I'm that close. Okay. So I'm looking at, I don't know. Because you can look at the shutter speed and, okay. But anyway, same thing here. So you can see the color pop, cropped, and then it goes back. All right, not cropped. This is a little bit out of focus, but you can still see warmer tone, cooler tone. Now I decided to just leave it in the HDR PQ, okay? So it's a lot cooler, a little bit darker, not as bright. And I did some clouds. All that f1.8, the crepe myrtle, my neighbor's yard. Here's the bird I wanted to show you. So I see it's not clear, but I go back. Yeah. See, that's with the 4X teleconverter. So picture may not be sharp, but I did have it at 1.8. But you got to remember, if you crop in, no matter if you're using a digital teleconverter or even the crop mode, you have less megapixels. So this is not available on the R5 II. It's available on the R6 II and the R8 only. And I talked about that earlier in a previous video. So I decided to take some wide shots. And now I'm using teleconverter 2, 4. If I Go in here and see it's blurry. But if I go to 2, watch this. It pixelate, but you see, you won't see a difference. Even if you use a digital converter, that's what it's doing. It's cropping. All right. And the cat. 1,000, 1/500 of shutter speed. And as you crop into, see, I think that's, yeah, no teleconverter, 2x, 4x. And you see, as you get closer, it gets brighter, but it gets blurrier. So you have to look at that. Now, this is an interesting story. Brand new lawnmower. My other one died, and you can't see it, but and I'm going to turn this off. Okay. But you can see the Ryobi. That's my second one. Both of them haven't lasted more than 4 years. The second one, only 1 year. The first one, the wheels came off. And then I fixed that, and as it was working, then the engine died. So that's what you get, what you pay for. $99 for a 13-inch. I upgraded to a 22-inch, gas-powered. I love it. The reason why I got rid of the gas power is because the lawnmower that I had, the string broke. So I ordered a new one. Everything was working 2 or 3 times. Then the string broke again. And I had it, I just, then I went electric. Now I'm back to gas. Okay. So, end of that story. 0, 2x teleconverter, 4x. Okay. Now, I cropped it. Going back down. No, I didn't crop it. I going back down, but I added the lens hood. Okay. Now, I thought this was an RFS lens. All right. Because I saw the cropping and I couldn't believe it. When I saw the vignetting, I says, it's never done that to me before. And I just got rid of the R50 and the R10 and all the lenses. I says, I got one lens left. So I did some experiments. I said, well, I've never seen it. I thought this was a full frame lens. And it didn't have the RFS. And I did some studying. So I bought a lens hood to protect the lens. I now have a filter on here, 52 millimeter, I believe. And so I don't need the lens hood. And then I noticed, wait a minute. I thought I'd vignetted. But when you put on the lens hood on the camera, it's so long, you see the vignetting on the corner. And I even checked the camera. It was in full frame mode. And it was confusing me. It says, well, I don't have crop mode on. So why did it crop? That's why. All because of this. So I don't need this anymore since I have a filter. I thought that was a funny story. So let's go down. But if you put the 2x teleconverter on, it goes away. Okay. The image stabilization is on all the time. Usually you just turn it on and you'll get the vignette and will go away, especially in a crop. But even by cropping, all right, it would go away with the lens hood. And that's what I did. So just to show you, I had the lens hood on, teleconverter at 4, 2, at 0, and then I just cropped it with the lens hood still on at 1.6. Look familiar? That's 1.6. That's a 2. So 2 is a little bit bigger than a 1.6. Okay, so decided to stay at 24 millimeters. Took off the hood. Well, no, I left the hood on just to show you. So you see, yeah, and then I cropped, or no, took it out of crop mode with the lens hood still on. All right, lens hood still on. And now I took it out of crop mode. It's in full frame mode. But I had the digital converter on. 2x, 4x. And that's the last picture. So that's my little story on, and I hope my sound is good. I'm doing this a second time because Ecamm muted my camera again. And I'm trying to figure out why. I did a new scene and everything, and microphone was on, and I was just shocked. So somehow it just mutes it for some reason, and I don't know why. But I'm going to go to the ending picture. That looks nice. Okay, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, folks. See, that's pixelated. Okay, I think I'm going to end it right there. To this. Maybe one more. Thank you for watching. I'm glad you stayed with me if you stayed this long. It's a funny story where with the lens hood on this 24 millimeter, it is a full frame lens. I am going to show you some pictures with macro in it, but I learned something new every day. And I thought it was hilarious because today I found out why it was vignetting, because it didn't work for a while. And then I realized I put the lens hood back on because I've been shooting all day without the lens hood. Even yesterday, it was just with the filter on. Okay. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day. Bring my mouse over here.